Hi Taylor, I thought maybe this was the best way for us to go through your midterm questions with you. I'm sorry, I'm not purposely trying to be dense. I just don't understand from your email what you're meaning by computer error. So I'm hoping that if I could just go through this and explain um, sort of my marking process and how everything works on here, that it might help to clear things up and clarify what you're asking me about. So here's the first question, and I looked at your rough work for this question, and some of your calculations are there, but some of them are not. And so what I did here is the first four questions were right, but if you look down at the bottom questions here, just make that a bit bigger so we can see it, then this question here was wrong, and there was no rough work that I could find on that question. This one was wrong, and there was no rough work I could find there. Now here's a perfect example of what I was talking about computer error. It's not really that the computer is making a mistake, it's just that the computer, when I type in the answer that I'm asking the computer to use to mark it, I've typed in 16.5, right? And you've put in 16.50, so it doesn't see that as a match and it marks it wrong. So I go in and I mark it right. And so in terms of this question, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you look, I think I've got, oh no, I don't have it here, but anyway, I can tell you I gave you 5 out of 8 on that question because of that. So that's why I always remark these, just to catch stuff like that the computer sort of can't think. So yeah, so I give you 5 out of 8 on that. I just double check that, okay? So let's go on. I didn't give you a picture of the ones you got right. I think we probably just need to look at the ones that were marked wrong so that we can help understand those. So for question 2, when you check on this in your user progress and you're looking at your results, then you should see in the drop box under the expand question feedback that I wrote you a note there. And the note says that you were asked for the cumulative frequencies, which is this right here, but that you gave me the cumulative percent as your answers, okay? And so I explained that I still gave you 6 out of 7 because when I looked at your rough work, I can see that you were organizing your table correctly, but you didn't answer the question, which was to give me the cumulative frequencies, which tells me that there is a bit of misunderstanding about what those are. So I took 1 mark out of 7 off, and I gave you 6 out of 7 on that for having done the calculations correctly, and I saw that on your rough work, okay? Now for question 3, that question is just wrong. So the percentile that you're asked for there, it won't change even if people got the frequency table. If they use different intervals and stuff, the percentile is still the percentile, like the 81st percentile is still the 81st percentile. And so, unfortunately, that answer was just incorrect. Okay, it should have been 107.3. Now on page 3 here, I've got question 4, and that's the same thing again. The percentile that 93 would land in should remain the same no matter how you've constructed your tally chart, your frequency table. And so that question was unfortunately incorrect. And then question 6 was one where you lost a mark because if the mean is greater than the median, that's what it's describing up here. If the mean is greater than the median, then you can't have a symmetric distribution because the mean and the median are equal for a symmetric distribution. And so it has to be one of the other choices there, and it's showing you that choice B is the correct one there. So apart from that, the very last question was the one that we had the issue on for the jam sales and the CD sales, and so unfortunately that was 4 marks there that were lost. But apart from that, that's the only places where you lost mark on the midterm. And I did look at your work that you submitted into the Dropbox for the rough work, and I did use that obviously to mark the questions, especially that frequency table 1, and make sure that you got all the marks that I could give you on those questions. So if you're able to explain to me, maybe give me an example of which one you're referring to when you're talking about the computer error and that the teachers are feeling that you were deserving of more marks. If you can show me exactly which questions you're referring to and why, then that will help me to understand, because obviously I want you to get the best mark possible, and I'm trying to do that by remarking it and looking at rough work and all of that kind of stuff. So I hope that helps us at least start the conversation in terms of your midterm exam. Okay, thanks.